Alrighty, welcome back to Lucid Trading for round 2 today, which is the 7th of July. It is Wednesday. The FOMC minutes just got released, which basically is a full review summary of the FOMC meeting that we had recently with the Federal Reserve. It got released a couple minutes ago, about 4 minutes ago. I've got it on my screen right now. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. Before we do that, do make sure you hit the like button. Let's get to 50 likes right here, right now. Make sure you do that. Really, it would really help out the stream. So hit the like. And I'm gonna have to actually share the stream link to the Discord, which I haven't exactly done yet. There we go. All right, I'm really darn excited. Excited. I'll let you know in a moment. I'm seeing some really nice buying opportunities in the market. That's also what the title says. We're going to cover the FOMC minutes, and we're watching these growth and tech stocks very closely. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. I'm going to give a shout out here to Tanisha, MC, Dara, Hungyung, Ronaldo, Jasper, Rocket, LM, Jinli, Joe, Grace, CMB, Shazeb, Steven, Zillan, Piskion Vishal. Welcome back, everybody. Tap that like. Would be very cool. Also, for the people that don't know yet, I am not going to be live on Friday because I'm going to go to France. I'm going to have my first holiday where I'm actually traveling somewhere in 5 years. It's going to be very exciting. I will do some live streams in France, so do look forward to that in the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be in France. I'll probably do an IRL live stream just to show Paris to you guys. It's going to be really great. I know a lot of people are from the United States and have actually not gone to Europe, to Paris and to France. So especially for you guys, it's going to be really cool. Just so you guys know, Friday there's going to be no live stream. I'll have to say that several times so people know. But we still have today and tomorrow. I'm going to try to pack in a lot of information for the coming days because obviously Friday I'm not going to be here. All right, so let's see. How have the indices reacted so far? The Nasdaq pulled back. The Russell's pulling back. S&P is going up right now, hitting all-time highs. Dow Jones is going up slightly. Interesting. Bitcoin, Ethereum, both are going up slightly. Tesla is down, which we did expect. You know, we did expect a downturn on Tesla here. Let's take a look. Mid-600s have been reached. Now a consolidationary phase around mid-600, and then the next move is going to be above 700, which is coming up for Tesla stock. And yeah, I am incredibly bullish on Tesla stock. You do not understand how incredibly bullish I am on Tesla. I'm going to just show you how bullish I am to the freaking moon, right? So I think Tesla is ready to be hitting the 700 soon. And as it does that, you know, it's going to be doing that for earnings, underway earnings. It will be hitting above 700. I think it could reach $800 at the end of this month. So we're going to be watching Tesla very closely. All right, so we're going to take a look at the Federal Reserve minutes, the Fed minutes, the FOMC minutes. Yeah, people are talking about my hair. Yeah, I will take a haircut very soon. Don't worry about that. Let's see if I can share my screen right here. Hold up. It's a black screen right now, I know. This should be fixed in a second. Yes, so this is the Fed minutes. Now, we're not going to look at this for a long time period, right? We're going to take a quick look at this. There we go. Minutes of the Federal Reserve, Federal Open Market Committee, June 15-16. This was the recent FOMC meeting of the Fed. Opening committee, right. Okay, cool. So let's zoom in slightly. I think that is going to help. We're going to quickly take a look at this. Inflation was mentioned 83 times. So we're going to look at some really core aspects of this meeting. We will be going back to the charts in a couple minutes, but we're going to see what they said about inflation, which is going to be the most important thing here. And raising rates tapering down potentially, bonds, etc. We're going to type those in, and we're going to look at what they said, like the statements. We can't read it all because this is obviously 14 pages. That would take a couple hours to just fully like digest. We don't have that much time, and we want to look at stocks, so that would make sense to just take a quick look what's happening here, because I do think it is quite important to take a look at what's happening here. Hopefully it won't last that long. All right, so let's just go to the first part of this where it's hold up, MBS, etc., etc. Let's just start by going to the first line where they mention inflation. I think that would be really nice. We don't need to exactly get everything right. Over the period, market participants focused on data showing lower employment growth and higher inflation readings than had been expected. The median 2021 core personal consumption expenditure (PCE) inflation forecast from the open market says survey of primary dealers jumped nearly 1%. Okay, so they're reviewing inflation here in mid-May at the highest level in more than a decade, but the increase was driven almost entirely by higher inflation compensation at short horizons. Indeed, 1 year forward inflation compensation at horizons beyond a year was relatively stable. One moment. Measures of expectations for Federal Reserve policy were little changed over the period. The median response to the desk surveys of primary dealers and market participants continued to expect the pace of Federal Reserve asset purchases to begin to decline in the first quarter of 2022, although most respondents also saw a reasonable chance that this decline could occur 1 quarter earlier or later. So we're seeing the expectation of the Fed actually starting to, pull back with the whole asset purchasing. Expectations are growing in that regard. The median respondent expected purchases to end in the fourth quarter of 2022. The desk survey measures of the expected path of the target federal funds rates were also fairly steady, and the median respondent continued to expect the first target rate increase to occur in the third quarter of 2023. So they're kind of like surveying people, and they're kind of, where do people think we're going to go with this, right? So do people think we're going to start raising rates in 2023, 2024, etc.? Nearly all desk survey respondents anticipate that the summary of economic projections would show the median committee participant projecting either no increase in the target range or 1 percentage, 1/4 percentage point increase by the end of 2023. So far, nothing really terrible. It's not like we're seeing. First quarter of 2022, the median respondent. Look at this. The median respondent expected purchases to end in fourth quarter of 2022. That's a long time. I think that's okay. For rates to go up in 2023, in my opinion, that is somewhat what we've been expecting. So not a whole lot changed in that respect. That's really nice. And let's go to the next bit, because this is what we already knew, actually. So basically, beginning 2022 to about end of 2022, that's where the assets purchasing plan is going to go completely away. Worst case, beginning of 2022. Best case, around end of 2022. And rates could start going up in 2023. So that's an interesting one. Let's see. There we go. Developments in financial markets and open market operations. The manager turned first to a discussion of financial market developments over the intermeeting period on net U.S. financial conditions, eased further, led by a decline in treasury yields, lower term premiums. Yeah, that we saw, right? The 10-year went down. Lower term premiums appear to be a significant component of the declines, as reflected by lower implied volatility on longer term interest rates. Equities rose slightly. The broad dollar weakened, and credit spreads were little changed at historically tight levels. Over the period, market participants focused on data showing lower employment growth and high inflation. Yeah, we already read this, right? I think we did. Yeah, we already. This is like the upper part of this. Oops. Total PC price was 2%. Yeah, we already knew this. This already came out. I want to find something that's actually something that we don't quite know yet. But I'm really I really do think we're going to have to dig in through this quite a bit. Let's see. I would have to probably make a whole video about this. That would be a lot more interesting than just looking at it in a live stream, because there's a lot to unpack here. Unpacking would be quite a bit of work. Participants commented on the continued improvement in labor market conditions in recent months. Job gains in April and May averaged more than 400,000, and the unemployment rate edged down on net to 5.8% over the period. Many participants pointed to the elevated number of job openings and high rates of job switching as further evidence of the improvement in labor market conditions. So far, we already know this. We've, I think, most people that actually follow the Fed and the macroeconomic situation in the U.S. would probably know this. There's some unemployment going on right now because of people switching jobs. And of course, the whole thing that, a lot of people are sitting at home, receiving the stimulus checks, which motivates people staying at home, but also helps people out simultaneously. So that is causing a bit of a gap in employment. Many participants remarked, however, that the economy was still far from achieving the committee's broad-based and inclusive maximum employment goal, and some participants indicated that the recent job gains, while strong, were weaker than they had expected. This is good. So if they say that, numbers are weaker than expected, you got to think about this, right? So that basically means the accommodation that we've seen for the market might continue longer than expected, and that would mean that stocks will keep on flying higher, because that has been the reason why stocks have been going up, because of inflation, because of the accommodation in the market, easy money. It's been really a very accommodative market for the growth/tech stocks out there, and just stocks in general. To be honest, it's been quite nice. They've been proliferated. This is not the CPI report. This is something else. This is the FOMC minutes. It's kind of a summary of what happened at the FOMC meeting for the Fed, where they talk about all sorts of macroeconomic things and microeconomic things, and I would say monetary policy. They talk about a lot of things regarding that. But we for the most part, we already know this, right? We're not seeing new things here. Although we're getting sort of a view of the perspective of the participants there at the Fed. So if they say that they're expecting rates to go up in 2023, well, that's a good thing to know. It's also good to know when the repurchasing plan, the purchasing of bonds, is going to stop. And so their expectation is going to be, the median expectation is end of 2022. And so knowing these things can give you an edge in the market, because, when that stops, guess what? Equities are going to suffer from that. And if we know in 2022, end of 2022, end of it, right? So that would mean potentially a couple months before that, we could see big sell-offs in 2022 because of these accommodations being removed, potentially. And the market would not like that, I'll tell you that. We got a $3 donation coming in from Masras, and Masras says, I am down 200,000 with Apple. Please help. Should I cover? I cannot give you financial advice, unfortunately. I think Apple potentially is going to come down soon. But like I said, on the short term, it's a bad idea to be short on Apple, as it could spike before a potential downturn. It's still very overbought, but it could stay overbought for some time. That does sound like a massive loss, though. I would say... what's Apple doing right now? Let me quickly check. Oh my gosh, Apple 144.7. It is skyrocketing right now. Yeah, Apple right now, it is a hot rocket. I think next week, I'm pretty darn confident that as we roll into the CPI report, that's when big tech will start selling off. And then we'll see some small tech starting to take off. So if this doesn't just drop right now, I think beginning of next week would be the next bearish, I would say, catalyst, the CPI report. But yeah, right now, Apple is doing pretty darn great. If you're shorting Apple, I could see that being incredibly bloody. It is incredibly overbought, so it could pull back at the power hour potentially, or tomorrow. Just this within the coming days, I do expect to pull back it could be below 140. Because right now it's just going parabolic. It's really overbought. We should see a pullback. Never short the biggest stock on the market. Yeah, I agree. Shorting Apple is not a good idea. Let's see. Where were we? Okay, there we go. Looking ahead, participants generally expected inflation to ease as the effect of these transitory effects, these transitory factors dissipated. But several participants remarked that they anticipated that supply chain limitations and input shortages would put upward pressure on prices. Sorry, my throat is killing me. That supply chain limitations and input shortages would put upwards pressure on prices into next year. Several participants noted that during the early months of the reopening, uncertainty remained too high to accurately assess how long inflation pressures will be sustained. Maybe zooming in would be nice here. No, it's not nice. Some participants commented that recent readings of inflation measures that exclude volatile components such as trimmed mean measures had been relatively stable at or just below 2%. So they're taking away the actual components that are they're skyrocketing, and they're like, yeah, it's around 2%. I don't think that's the way it works, but oh well. In their comments on longer-term inflation expectations, a number of participants noted that despite increases earlier this year, measures of long-term inflation expectations had remained in ranges that were broadly consistent with the committee's longer-run inflation goal. So what you have to understand here is that inflation, if it is as expected, if they say we see that inflation is as expected, guess what? If it's not going above expectations, then this could potentially mean that rates will remain low for a longer time period, which is then good for tech and growth stocks. It is good for companies because they can get easy money for their businesses, so they can survive longer. They can just have more cash. More capital is generally a good thing, but it also means potentially the debt bubble that's building up is going to keep on building up. So that's something that we have to keep in mind. All right, so let's just skip this right here. Broadly consistent. All right, so participants noted that overall financial conditions remained highly accommodative, in part reflecting the stance of monetary policy, which continued to deliver appropriate support to the economy. Several participants highlighted, however, that low interest rates were contributing to the elevated house prices and that valuation pressures in housing markets might pose financial stability risks. Yeah, so that is definitely what we saw. Real estate just kept on climbing and climbing. However, we could see some stagnation there in prices for the coming months. Hold up. As the inflationary effects just kind of plummet, lumber went down, etc. In discussing the uncertainty and risks associated with the economic outlook, participants commented that the process of reopening the economy was unprecedented and likely to be uneven across sectors. Some participants judged that supply chain disruptions and labor shortages complicated the task of assessing progress toward the committee's goals, and that the speed at which these factors would dissipate was uncertain. So yeah, a bit of uncertainty there, of course. How often do we see the economy close and open up? Uncertainty, of course, that is to be expected. Accordingly, in some sense, it's certain that you get uncertainty there. Accordingly, participants judged that the uncertainty around their economic projections was elevated, although they generally saw the risks to the outlook for economic activity as broadly balanced. A substantial majority of participants judged that the risks to their inflation projections were tilted to the upside because of concerns that supply disruptions and labor shortages might linger for longer and might have larger or more persistent effects on prices and wages than they currently assumed. Several participants expressed concern that longer-term inflation expectations might rise to inappropriate levels if elevated inflation readings persisted. Several other participants cautioned the downside risks to inflation remained because temporary price pressures might unwind faster than currently anticipated, and because the forces that held down inflation and inflation expectations during the previous economic expansion had not gone away, or might reinforce the effect of the unwinding of temporary price pressures. Now, that's a mouthful, right? So let me just see what it exactly said. So basically, the downside risks to inflation remain because temporary price pressures might unwind faster. So downside risks on inflation. So do they mean inflation goes down? Because temporary price pressures, they will unwind. Oh, right. So the risks is that that inflation could go up because of the temporary price pressures, right? The transitory effects, and it goes really fast. There's a risk to that, basically. And it could go faster than the effect of deflation, right? That we had in the other cycle. So because this is like a unique thing that we're having, with the economy reopening. It could, like, the supply issues that we're seeing, especially with what we saw with the chips, is having a massive impact, and it's transitory, but it's still it's a massive impact. It's a big spike in prices, and now they're saying that it could last longer than expected. So stocks like Nvidia, AMD, just the chip stocks, right? So they will be benefiting from this a little longer, probably too. I think this is good. I think we kind of got the nitty and gritty stuff going. I think I'm gonna see what's happening here. So this is the committee policy action. I think this is also quite important. We're going to cover this, and then we're going to get back to the charts, because I do think it's quite important to take a look at what's happening right here. I want to see what they actually did, if they did take any action after that. I'm going to have to briefly take a look at my phone. Okay, cool. That was fine. All right, so committee policy action. In their discussion of monetary policy for this meeting, members agreed that progress in vaccinations had reduced the spread of COVID-19 in the United States. They noted that amid progress and strong policy support, indicators of economic activity and employment had strengthened, which is good for the economy, although the sectors most adversely affected by the pandemic remained weak. They had shown improvement. So they're weak, but they're showing improvement there. Inflation had risen, largely reflecting transitory factors. Overall, financial conditions remained accommodative, in part reflecting policy measures to support the economy and the flow of credit to U.S. households and businesses. So they're actually helping out the economy. Members, of course, are helping out the economy. I mean, so much money has been printed. Members also agreed that the path of the economy would depend significantly on the course of the virus. We see the Delta variant kind of coming up right now, which could also have an impact the coming months. Tech and growth could take off just because of that, right? Because of that fear of, damn, we might see another lockdown, potentially. Progress on vaccinations would likely continue to reduce the effects of the public health crisis on the economy, but risks to the economic outlook remained. So that's obvious. Members agreed that the Federal Reserve was committed to using its full range of tools to support the U.S. economy in this challenging time, thereby promoting its maximum employment and price stability goals. There we go. All members reaffirmed that in accordance with the committee's goals to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the longer run, and with inflation having run persistently below this longer run goal, they would aim to achieve inflation moderately above 2% for some time, so that inflation averages 2% over time and longer-term inflation expectations remain well anchored at 2%. I feel like Jerome Powell right now. He repeats this piece of text like every single time. Members expected to maintain an accommodative stance of monetary policy until those outcomes were achieved. All members agreed to keep the target range for the federal funds rate of 0 to 0.25%, and they expect. Gotta breathe here. And they expected that it would be appropriate to maintain this target range until labor market conditions had reached levels consistent with the committee's assessment of maximum employment and inflation had risen to 2% and was on track to moderately exceed 2% for some time. In addition, members, for some time, I mean, how long is that going to be, right? So that's the question. Well, is for some time? Is it 6 months? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? We'll see. In addition, members agreed that it would be appropriate for the Federal Reserve to continue to increase its holdings of Treasury securities by at least $80 billion per month, and agency MBC by at least $40 billion per month until substantial further progress had been made toward the committee's maximum employment and price stability goals. They judged that these asset purchases would help foster smooth market functioning and accommodate financial conditions, thereby supporting the flow of credit to household and business. Hold up. Did they actually increase it from here? Or that is crazy. That's still a really large amount every month. Thereby supporting the flow of credit to households and businesses. Members agreed that in assessing the appropriate stance of monetary policy, they would continue to monitor the implications of incoming information for the economic outlook, and that they would be prepared to adjust the stance of monetary policy as appropriate in the event that risks emerged that could impede the attainment of the committee's goals. Members also concurred that in assessing the appropriate stance of monetary policy, they would take into account a wide range of information, including readings on public health, labor market conditions, inflation pressures, and inflation expectations. Well, these two are really big, very, very important. And financial and international developments. Members judged that the economic outlook had continued to improve and that the most negative effects of the pandemic on the economy most likely had occurred. As a result, they agreed to remove references in the FOMC statement that noted that the virus was causing tremendous human and economic hardship, and that the ongoing public health crisis continues to weigh on the economy. Instead, they agreed to say that the progress on vaccinations had reduced the spread of COVID-19 and would likely continue to reduce the negative economic effects of the public health crisis. That's definitely a very, very different stance on that. At the conclusion of the discussion, the committee voted to authorize and direct the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, until instructed otherwise, to execute transactions in the SOMA in accordance with the following domestic policy directive for release at 2 p.m. Effective June 17, 2021, the Federal undertake open market. Okay, so this we already know, right? So this is... right. Voting for this action. Okay, voting against, none. So that was it, right? So I wanted to cover that, see if there was any changes. It's just the same thing over and over again. They, at worst, we could see potentially these asset purchases be done by the first quarter of 2022, maybe even earlier. They said that they're also willing to, if we see really high inflation, somehow, if inflation would spike, they would just react to it, right? So that's what we get from this, and also on top of that, that's the median expectation, by the way, end of 2022 for the asset purchases to be done. That's end of 2022, and first quarter of 2023. That's when the rates could potentially start going up slowly. All right, let's get back to stocks. I think this was appropriate. Nothing significant here. Pretty much the same stuff that we got the other time. All right, I hope you guys survived that. It can be a little bit boring to be reading that text. Text. Let me just quickly take a look at my video. I think my video is a little too dark. Oh, that should do. Yeah, so that was that. Let's see what's happening here in the chat. Apple is on a great run. I have to admit, Apple is running quite a bit. 144.4. Keep in mind, it is incredibly overbought. I do expect a downturn to happen very soon, although it can remain overbought for some time. I think what would be logical, like I said previously, would turn back down. To that 140, 139, 138. I think that is going to be happening quite soon. Because, well, guess what? It went up like, how much did it go up? 16, 17% in just a couple weeks' time? Which is kind of insane, right? It's going parabolic at the moment. I'm not saying that it's going to go down all the way. I'm just saying we'll see a tiny correction either today or the coming days, or maybe next week, in the beginning of that week, prior to the CPI report. I do expect that to be happening very soon on Apple. But yeah, I do think it will actually just keep on going up to the 150s and maybe even above that, because we still have earnings coming up, which is a massive catalyst for Apple stock. Yeah, that's my opinion on that. Let's see what's happening here. Ooh, Tesla, my boy, 644.6. That is interesting. Huh. Some people are saying that they fell asleep. I understand it, but I think it's crucial to be looking at these things. Let me. Oh, there we go. We got a $5 donation from Tenzin Gyalpo, and it's a. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that, by the way. Pronounce that well. Tenzin says, I love this channel. What are your thoughts of XLF, and where do you think Tesla will end the week? I think Tesla could end the week at roughly, let me check, Tesla end the week. I would say 660 maybe, 660 probably. I don't think it's gonna go much higher right now. But yeah, the daily chart looks like it's about to cross, right? So last time we saw it cross to the downside was right here, and that was in kind of the bit of a bearish period of the market, and it was right here, very tiny pullback here. Well, it was 4% or something. You know, I'm gonna say 650, around 650. It's not gonna be changed that much. Might go down a little bit further, maybe 640. But I think at the end of the week, 650. It's going to stay around 650. Next week, I expect it to go to the 700s. End of the week. 700s, period. No excuse for it to not be going up at that point. We're getting close to earnings. You know, end of next week would be almost the middle of July. First week of August is going to be earnings. So, yeah. They still had record deliveries, right? So they still should be able to do good for earnings. Because they're probably going to have record earnings. Now, so that was Tesla XLF. I haven't checked this one in a while. It's a fund, mutual fund, financial. I don't know anything about this stock, about this fund specifically. I mean, dividends. It's sold off for the dividends. Actually, that's not true. If we take a look at the 4-hour on XLF, sold off right on top. Okay, so right there, and then it started skyrocketing right after. Interesting. It seems like we'll see it pull back slightly further. SPDR, Select Sector Fund. I don't know. I would have to know a bit more about the fundamentals, to be honest. I'm just getting pure technicals, right? We see it actually jumped off the 20-day moving average. This is a solid trend line too. And for the most part, we're seeing it fall prior to the dividends. So if it topped out. It's kind of like the Dow Jones, isn't it? In some sense, it looks a lot like the Dow Jones. Yeah. So how much has this one gone up? 30% in a couple months' time. What's the weekly looking like? Right, it's crossing downwards. Difficult to say what's happening here, to be honest. Okay, well, you know, I'm going to say what we might see here is that this will potentially bounce back up, but I don't expect it to exactly breach the all-time high. I think it's going to go back to around 37. I think it's going to consolidate. So if I can just view it in an animation right here, I think it's just going to go sideways for the most part. So just go sideways here for some time. I would say it could pretty much be sideways for a month or two in this price range, 35 to 40 range. That would be this, I think that's going to be happening for the Dow Jones as well, by the way. And it looks like it's kind of tracking it a little bit. We're seeing similar movement there. Oh my, Tesla's heading down. I might buy some right now. I've actually bought a lot at like 644, 642. So I'm going to wait right now. If it hits 640, if it goes below 640, I'm going to buy like a boatload of Tesla stock. Keep in mind, I've had a lot of I have a lot of Tesla stock right now. So every percentage it drops, it's a percentage on my Tesla stock that it's also dropping. So it's kind of painful, but that is how it is. Stocks do not go up all the time. They will go down from time to time, and that's something you're going to have to get used to if you're in the market. I think a lot of people are used to the market just going up, especially the people that were in cryptos, because cryptos seem to just only go up at some point, and now cryptos have come down a lot, and it shocked a lot of people, right? Big shock. Assets can go down. Yeah. Speaking of crypto, Bitcoin is up 1.4%. We did say that would be happening. Ethereum is going up, and we also said Ethereum was going to go up. So, nice. I think they're going to keep on going up. I don't think it's going to stop. I think until next week, cryptos are going to run. And with run, I mean just go up a couple percent from here. All right, let's check out what's happening in the chat. Those graphics are butter. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. You forgot the donation from Masras, did I? Oh boy. Masras coming in with a $3 donation and says, "I want to thank all those that helped with Apple." That's really sweet. I think the thing with Apple is, the thing what people should understand with Apple, we've got a CPI report coming up. Bonds are selling. No, sorry, bonds are going up in price. 10-year yield is coming down. There's an increase in demand for a safe haven. You know, bonds are the safe haven assets. And big tech is kind of a safe haven as well. We have the Delta COVID variant that's kind of becoming more and more rampant. And last time when COVID was rampant, big tech took off. And because Apple is one of those stocks that has a relatively okay PE ratio, it is now taking off. And we also have earnings coming up over the coming weeks, right? So it's rallying a little bit earlier than I thought. I thought it would pull back initially and then rally. Now it's rallying and it's going to pull back. I don't think... it's above the all-time high right now, I think. That's right at the all-time high. That is a big resistance. There's a good chance that it will pull back right there, just like what we saw right here. Resistance, and then it just pulls back. So if it does pull back here, I think it's going to pull back to roughly around 139, 138. Just waiting for that to be happening, to be honest. And the reason we can see that Apple's so bullish, actually laid it out recently. The weekly MACD is crossing. This is a very bullish signal. Last time this happened was right there, and guess what happened to Apple? It just skyrocketed. And the same thing is happening right now. The question is now, how long is it going to last? Is it going to go overbought? RSI is going to stay there. I think it's first going to have to pull back before it goes up even further. So that's just my opinion on that. So pull back, and then we'll see another rally for earnings, which could put it at like 150 at some point. Earnings is going to be end of July, so there's 20 days until earnings. Plenty of time for a correction, and it is incredibly overbought. Even if you look at the MACD, it's sitting at a quite high level, historically speaking, pulls back at that MACD level. RSI, same story. So I do think there is a good chance it's going to fall. Although it's so short term, right? Like, can I say it's going to drop right now? No, I can't. But it does look like it's a prime candidate for a short term correction, like a couple percent. And not only that, if we're taking a look at the monthly chart, if we wait long enough, there is a massive, massive correction coming. I can't even call it a correction. Honestly, I'm going to call it what it is. I think there is a crash coming for Apple, for big tech. And what would that mean? We would probably enter a bear market. So I do think a bear market is coming ahead. We can see that in the monthly MACD, every roughly 2 years, we see a massive correction on Apple stock. It doesn't have to be exactly 2 years. I mean, here it was roughly, let's see, that was about a year, right? So roughly a year. This so far, we're getting to 2 years now with Apple just rising higher and higher and higher. We're seeing MACD about to top out. The RSI is still sitting quite high. We haven't seen it take a break. So I think over the course of the next months, we'll see that actually unfold, where we'll see Apple potentially come down significantly. Now, this could happen end of July. It could also happen end of August or into September. That's what's really tough with this, but it will be happening. I think in the next quarter, we'll see a big correction, and it could be a 20, 30 to about 30% correction. I will potentially be shorting Apple at some point, but not right now. This is not a good time to be doing that. Right now, short term, in the coming month or two, I expect Apple to keep on rising. We've got easy monetary policy. We've got great earnings. The economy is just going on a train. Right now is not the right time to be shorting. I probably said something else in the past because of a mistake that I made. But yeah, humans make mistakes. I do remember I was quite bearish in Apple, and I said it could potentially come down end of June, but I was a little bit too early given the CPI that came out at the time, which was quite mild, right? So we're seeing a deflection downwards, or inflection downwards on CPI. I mean, if you see that happening, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to see big tech sell off significantly at that point. All right, let's see what's happening. Did you make these graphics? A very good buddy of mine made the graphics, actually. He's just the best, right? Like, I am very lucky that he's in my life, and that he can... he's just great at graphics. He's an actual professional at that. And I definitely do reward him for doing the graphics. But yeah, whenever I need graphics, I call him like, yo, you have some free time? Let's work on some graphics. But yeah, it's... I hope you guys like them. I've been adding them specifically for specific purposes, right? So, but yeah, I think right now it seems like Apple is rather bearish short term. It seems like we're going to see a tiny downturn, but overall still bullish. All right, let's see. Yeah, guys, we are one community, right? So if somebody is losing on a position, please be kind to that person, and for try to offer emotional support, as if if you were losing on a position, wouldn't you like that? So let's not bash each other. I think that's not productive. I think that is really toxic. I think I'm a little guilty of that myself sometimes, but it's a thing, stocks go down. And they go down from time to time, and you can have big unrealized losses. I've been there. I am right now there. I mean, I've got my C3.ai right now. Plenty of people are bashing me for having C3.ai and for being red on C3.ai. But I do still believe that that company fundamentally is worth more than what it's currently traded at. So I'm going to keep on holding it. But of course, I would rather have people just like pamper me and be like, hey, it's okay. You can, people make losses. It could be temporary. Things could improve. So be nice to each other. We're one community. This is the Lucid gang, the Lucid community. I would say the Lucid traders community, right? Not the Lucid Motors community. People made some memes about that recently. Let's go. I once helped somebody that had like $400,000 in losses. I educated somebody on some things, made that person help, just like understand stocks better, and now that person is up 100,000. No, that's the best feeling ever if you can help somebody like that. That's just phenomenal. But yeah, keep in mind, anything is possible in the stock market. You're kind of signing up for like one hell of a roller coaster when you're in the stock market and you're holding stocks. Anything can happen, right? So if Tesla, if Elon, for example, gets sick right now, and we know that he's sick, the stock could plummet 10%, like that. So that's it's the stock market for you. It's just an example, but we got about 10 minutes left, by the way, until Power Hour, and we're sitting at 93 likes. That's relatively low. We usually sit around 120. Let's get to 120 likes right now. Smash that like button. Would really appreciate it. It would be amazing for the live stream, and I would be very happy. So take a second and hit that like. Let's get to 120 likes right now. Also, let me know in the live chat which stocks you want me to take a look at. And I'm also going to start a poll right now. Would you short Apple at 150? So PLTR, CCIV. I'm seeing a lot of PLTR and CCIV right now, actually. Oh, England. Oh, yeah, by the way, England and Denmark. They're going to be playing football in about 10 minutes during the Power Hour. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's the winner will go to the finals of the Euro Cup. Yeah, I'm following it closely as well. Aside from the stock market, right? We're following both. Will be interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, Tesla, like I said, it is looking quite attractive, sitting at $644. While big tech is hitting all-time highs, Tesla just keeps on going down. Yet their fundamentals are good. Record quarter. We had a record quarter. We're gonna have record earnings. We're still down quite a bit from the all-time high, right? So Tesla's down quite a large amount. Still down 30% from the all-time high. I think it's still a great opportunity. It could be going to the $800 in the next coming weeks. So that's my opinion on Tesla, by the way. So yeah, once again, very bullish on that. I think it's going to go to the moon, like I just showed you. I really love this animation. It's fantastic. All right. Neo. Lots of people saying Neo. Neo, Palantir, CCIV. All right. So you want to see Neo? Okay, cool. I'll cover Neo, right? I will cover Neo right now. But hit that like button. Smash that like button. Let's get to 250 likes right now as well. Especially if you're holding Neo. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Neo is coming down all right. 8.7% to the downside. 45.9. That is just unbelievable. Oof, it is crashing. Damn. It is crashing right now. That's not the prediction, but it is crashing. Oof. Oh my god. That is painful. I did warn about this. We said it several times. Neo was flying high. Of course, I didn't say it's going to come down like this, but I was quite bearish on it short term. You can see right here what I said. Initially said that it would drop from the 53 all the way down to the 47, 48. But it's now sitting at 45.9. I think I'm going to buy some Neo right now. Why the hell not? Hold up. I'm going to buy some Neo stock. I actually think it's going to come back. It's going to come back quite nicely. Hold up. Okay, so if Apple would hit $150, 40% of people would say they would short it. 33% would say no. 27% would say, oh, hell no. So, yeah, that's most people would not short it. But yeah, 40% still saying that they would short Apple at 150. Interesting. Huh. I would start shorting Apple at 150. Tiny amounts, probably, but not yet. Just to hedge my portfolio against the market, right? Not because of, Apple going down specifically, but more like because Apple's sitting so high, it becomes an easier short opportunity. All right, let's so Neo, right? So we actually hit 150 likes. Wow, that is impressive. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can hit a 175. I bought some Neo stock. It's now not following the trend line anymore, so it's becoming bearish. This is a support range, right? So the 45, 46-ish, that is... let me just kind of confirm that if we can use the Fibonacci properly here. Yep, that is the support. This is a great, I think it's a great swing trade from 45, 46. Potentially, I would say initially, it could go all the way up to 48, which is a resistance. So let's say it goes back to 48. Short term, I think it's going to bounce to 48. And I would say, let's just look at past patterns that we've seen here. So maybe hit 48, come back down, and just go sideways, and then slowly go back up over the month, right? So, and then eventually I could see it go back to the 55. Because I think it's going to hit 48, it's going to pull back a bit, and then gradually run up. And we don't exactly have a big catalyst coming up for NEO either. Although at the end of the month, usually it really does pick up the pace, kind of similar to what we saw right here, because of the fact that we have deliveries coming up. You know, each month they report the deliveries for the previous month. And so that's why I think at the end of the month, it would just shoot up a little. And that's where it's going to go back to 55. I don't think 60 could be possible. Maybe if it gets we get an announcement, like a big bullish announcement, or the stock market just shoots up, which is unlikely at this point. So this is what I'm thinking right now. Get through that 48, pull back, slowly head up to the 50s and above. I don't think I do not think we're going to go to the lower 40s. I think that is kind of not happening anymore. And if it happens, it would be right now or like tomorrow, where it just goes back to around 43, 44. It's the lower 40s here. And then it would just rally back up from there. But that would only happen if the markets would really pull back now, which is not happening at the moment. So, although the Russell, my gosh, the Russell is getting pummeled right now. That is crazy. I was expecting it to bottom out right here. But yeah, the Russell's pummeling downwards because of the CPI report coming up soon. The 10-year is down 2% today. I mean, it's just a little weird. I do think it will recover. It's oversold, right? So it's incredibly oversold. It's about to hit, yeah, it's hit the 100-day moving average again. Weekly. Well, I mean, the Russell has been quite bearish, right? So it's still in that bearish phase on the weekly. And it hit the 20-day moving average again. I think it's just going to go bounce to the upside now. Just consolidate first, and as we get closer to the CPI date, which is going to be the 13th of July, Tuesday next week, I would say we're going to see it bounce back. Oh, so just initially stay here. Oh, not like that. More like this, right? So it's going to go back to the 2,350s easily. So long as the CPI report does not demolish everything that we've seen so far. We need to see an inflection to the downside on CPI. 3 more minutes until power hour. Also, 3 more minutes until England is going to win from Denmark. I am for England. I want to see England versus Italy. It's going to be really cool. But if Denmark wins, that would be insane. By the way, if you want to see me cover CCIV right now, hit the like button. I'll go to CCIV in a moment. Russell's bouncing off soon. This rally that we're gonna see here, this is gonna be so incredibly bullish for CCIV and small cap stocks. If this happens, like, CCIV is just gonna go it's gonna go to the moon. It's gonna go parabolic. Like, it's gonna be unreal. Like, literally to the moon. Alright, we're gonna cover CCIV. Notice how the Russell's going down and CCIV is going down. Surprise. Russell's going to go up, CCIV is going to go up. That's what we're going to see here. Same probably for C3.ai, to be honest. Yeah, so CCIV, I've said it before. I think this week, because of the CPI report that's coming out, it's not going to go above 27. We might still hit 27 on Friday, 27, 28. 30 would be unlikely, but I don't want to rule it out, so it could still happen. But I would say 30 would be for next week. Just looking at momentum, looking at the price movement, I think 30 is going to be reached next week. At the end of next week, we might even get to, if we're really lucky, 33, maybe 35 in that zone, because we're getting incredibly close to the merger of Lucid Motors and Churchill Capital Corp IV. Yeah, I do think it's going to go to 30. I don't think that 25 is an expensive price for the stock right now, at least not for a swing trade. I think overall the price right now is looking quite attractive. The only thing that could really mess it up is if they would delay the merger, or if, well, this is not the only thing, I guess, but if CPI report comes in really bad, aka inflation through the roof, that would be very, very bad for the SPACs out there, for the high multiple stocks, and for the just tech and growth in general. Also, it is now officially Power Hour, so let's get that Power Hour transmission going. It is now Power Hour, and let's oh, oops. I just disappeared for a second. Let's get that Power Hour template. Let's go. Let's get it beneath my video. Cool. So it is now Power Hour. I think it could get a little bit more volatile than what we've seen so far. It's the last hour of the day. And the match between England and Denmark is starting right now. So let me know in the live chat which country is going to win. I'm going to be making a poll for that actually right now for the Euro Cup. Who will win? England or Denmark? Yeah, it is Power Hour, so be prepared for some significant volatility. I think it could be a bullish one. I think it could be a bullish Power Hour. It's not going to be a sour hour. It's been sour pretty much the whole day, so it could be bullish. Oh my, oh my, look at that. Palantir, 22.8. No freaking way. No freaking way. 7.3% to the downside. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. That is absolutely nutty. Hold up. I'm gonna get some Palantir. Hold up. Wait a minute. I bought some Palantir. Because honestly, it's getting real cheap right now, and I really like the stock. I like the company, their products, their growth rates, their future growth, the stock price. I mean, it's the perfect stock to be buying. So I bought the dip of Palantir stock. I actually bought some C3.ai as well at 58. Think it's going to be great next week and the next coming weeks. It will be the last time we're going to see that low, probably going into the second half of this year properly here. AMC is probably going to go lower. Definitely going to go lower. This is not the bottom, but it might bounce back to the 50s very briefly and then drop below 40, to that 39 right there. But yeah, damn, Palantir is getting pummeled. It is getting pummeled, absolutely. That is crazy. But I am very, very bullish on Palantir. I think Palantir is looking quite nicely. So, prediction to the moon for Palantir. I think we're going to see Palantir actually closer to... delete this right here. I was wrong about this, unfortunately. Didn't expect it to go down this much. This is crazy. This is a support range. Keep that in mind. This is a support range. 4 hour shows it's oversold. Usually when Palantir is oversold, it bounces back really quickly. So what was the average move to the upside when it bounced? Roughly 10%, right? So 10% down move to the upside would bring Palantir closer to around 25, which is right there. It could consolidate here briefly and then eventually pull back up to 25. I think that is going to be happening, honestly. It usually goes sideways for a bit, but then eventually comes back up to 25. Tends to be a resistance at 25. All right, so 61% of people think that England is actually going to be winning the match that is coming up. 62%. So we'll see. If Denmark wins, that would be very sad for the people that are watching right now. I think most people are from England. Well, most people speak English, and most people that know about this match are from England in the live stream. So will England bring it back home? We'll see. I want to buy more Palantir. Actually, this is looking quite attractive to me. Hold up. Yeah, I am dollar cost averaging on Palantir right now. It looks nice. I really like this play. It looks good. There's another gap of Palantir at 24.5. I might buy with you here. You do what you want. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not listen to me. This is very risky, right? Do your own due diligence. But I'm going to be buying some Palantir right now. Fix the camera real quick here. I think the saturation is a little too high at the moment. That's why I look like a tomato at the moment. All right, cool. Gara, will small caps and growth stocks crash? No, I don't think so. I doubt it. Gara, check your PayPal. Did I not check my PayPal? Oops. Yeah, I probably didn't have the app open. Hold up. Oh, we got a 10 euro donation coming on through PayPal from Jill Batterton. Jill says, love your live streams in Discord, Gara. Enjoy France. The food and shopping is to die for. Come on, England. Bring it home. Yeah, I think England is probably going to win this. I don't think Denmark is quite famous for playing football. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting match. It just started 7 minutes ago. Thank you for that donation. I think it's going to be... I hope it's going to be nice in France. I think the weather is a lot better than here in the Netherlands. I especially am looking forward to just seeing the actual monuments in France. I'm really, really excited for that. Haven't traveled on my own for 5 years now, so it's going to be the first time in a long time now. And I'm also going to be traveling at the end of the month. I'm going to go to Germany. But yeah, for this weekend, I'm going to go to France. And Friday, I will not be streaming. Keep that in mind. So I will try to stream in France, actually. It's going to be funny. See if that's going to work out. Okay, so my overall opinion right now, Tesla is dipping down. Obviously, it's cheap. I think it's very cheap. I bought some Tesla. Same for NIO. Same for I don't like Li Auto and Xpeng right now. Don't want to touch those. CCIV is going to bounce back 27, 28. Looks pretty good right now. DD is extremely cheap. There is some negative FUD. There's some FUD right now with DD. I think it's not going to last. Next week it's going to be gone. It's going to go back up to $15 to $16 very quickly. So that would be a gain of about 28 to about 30%. Fill that gap completely. I think that's going to happen. AMC, overall, still bearish. I think it might bounce back to 50 and then come down again. Then the next target would be around the upper 30s. C3.ai is still going down. It's going down before the CPI date. I forgot about that, so that's why I was a little bit too bullish on C3.ai. But yeah, it's kind of coming down in anticipation for C3 for the CPI, and that's because the Russell's also coming down, which is having an impact on C3. This will be the lowest we're going to see C3 for a long time. So I've been buying C3 like crazy. And then why am I saying this? Well, we had the lockup period expiration. This is going to be the last solid downturn that we're going to see with high multiple stocks because inflation is inflecting downwards. At least that's what we think. So long as the CPI is going to be good, aka inflecting downwards, and the 10-year is going to keep low, we'll see C3 go up. We're going to see Palantir go up, Snowflake go up, and it's going to be a nice second half of the year for the growth in tech stocks out there, as we're going into Q3, Q4. And of course, we've got earnings coming up in about a month for these stocks, so it's overall going to be quite a positive month for those stocks specifically. Now, recovery stocks are going to do terrible. They're doing terrible right now. They have been doing terrible too. Yeah, they're probably going to go up a little bit, over the coming weeks. But I don't expect to see an all-time high with these recovery stocks. Big tech. I think big tech is going to go sideways at some point. So we're seeing them go up right now. We'll see more of a sideways movement, slow movement, right? And eventually we'll see a big correction coming up for big tech. Though the funny thing is Amazon's been going sideways for like a year now. But, yeah. Amazon hitting an all-time high, by the way. Sitting at 3,700. Watch Tom Nash. He talked on DD. It has so many fake orders. Money flow and its accounting is an island well known for cheating people, and it's a shell company. Okay, hold up. Don't I remember Tom Nash? He had a bearish. I think he had a bearish stance on Palantir at the time. Maybe I can find his video. I like Tom Nash, by the way. I watch him from time to time. But
growing up in the
oops, let's actually play this video. Let's see if he uploaded the Palantir video, or maybe he deleted it. Sorry for that noise, by the way. There we go. I remember him being a bit bearish on Palantir. At first. I think he changed his opinion on that very quickly. Or it was something like he didn't want to cover Palantir yet because it was a bit bearish. Something like that. I remember this. And then eventually he changed his mind. He's like, I'm super bullish on Palantir. Meanwhile, we covered Palantir pretty much on the day of its IPO. We covered Palantir. I was incredibly bullish on Palantir because of just everything about that company, right? Like, it's a pure fuel company. The CEO, very charismatic. They've got great growth figures. They've been quite established. And there was a lot of FUD. Usually when there's a lot of FUD, there's something going on there. So, yeah, we've been covering Palantir ever since it was sitting at like $7, right? So then eventually went to 20, 30, 40, etc. I don't know. I think he's going to be wrong on DD. I think he will be wrong. I think he's choosing the side of the mainstream, and the mainstream right now is saying that DD is a bad stock because of China. I don't think that's going to be the case. Actually, I think I watched part of the video that somebody said within that video that he talked like about DD. I think it's just gonna be FUD. Nash covered fundamentals on DD. Yeah, I checked it out. Hold up, I'm gonna actually pull up the. There we go. Oh yeah, England versus Denmark is right now, by the way. Just started about 14 minutes ago. And nobody scored yet. So that's cool. I think most people are not gonna be investing in DD because of FUD. So I think all of retail right now is just not gonna enter DD. And then as this whole thing that's going on with DD is gonna just kind of subside, you're gonna see the hedge funds, the big institutions, they're gonna buy the stock gradually. And you know, hedge funds have a very positive impact on news, because suddenly when hedge funds have bought in, the news cycle goes bullish on the stock, and then retail starts buying in the stock, right? So that's usually how the cycle goes. So what I am expecting is that once this news, this bearish news, this FUD, is going to be priced in, hedge funds and institutions are going to buy boatloads of DD stock. The stock skyrockets 10-20%. The news then covers it, and it's going to start talk very bullishly. Like, look, they've got 400 million customers. They've got 13 million drivers. They've got 20 billion revenue. That's what they're going to talk about. And then suddenly DD is a very beautiful stock, and then retail traders start buying the stock as well. That's usually how it goes. And that's kind of what I'm predicting right now, because the technicals are good. The fundamentals are good. Short term, there's some bearish news, so that's why it's low. I could be completely wrong about this. It could be a fake, fraudulent company. But yeah, so far, I mean, I don't think it's going to be the case. I think they'll be quite nice. It's going to pull back up, fill the gap, go back to around $16. So yeah, I am definitely bullish on this stock. Oh, actually, hold up. I think I made. Huh? Did I just... Okay, that's better, right? So let me do that again. Yeah, it should be behind me, right? So not on top of my face. Yeah, very bullish on this stock here. Didi is a dead dog, but China's banned drivers taking out money. Is game over? We'll see. Shorting the Nasdaq now, it's going to tank. It's too high. I think it could go a little higher though, but I do understand that, of course, the Nasdaq at some point is going to pull back, right? So this was my expectation. I said that Nasdaq would go to 14,860 and then pull back big time, and so that pullback could be happening the coming days. So we're talking tomorrow and after tomorrow. That's also where I see Apple coming down, Amazon coming down, etc. So this could be happening prior to the weekend, tomorrow and after tomorrow. We'll see. Mate, you should have... hold up. Mate, you should look at the fundamental numbers. Watch some Nash video. Please get out of this. I won't. I will not get out of DD. I think mainstream is getting it wrong. I think people are getting it wrong. Whenever everybody's bullish on a stock, almost consistently, I would say 9 out of 10 times, the stock starts flying up. Almost consistently. Like, I could make a poll right now. Most people are bearish on DD, right? Oh, there we go. Igorino1 Igor coming in with a 2.3 euro donation and says, Virgin Galactic up before the flight or down because of CPI? Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's kind of what I've been struggling with. So what I've been struggling with this Virgin Galactic... Okay, so I think how Virgin Galactic is moving right now is like this. The stock, it wants to go up, right? People want this stock. But simultaneously, CPI is coming up. 13th of July, next week. It's very darn close. We have the weekend, and then Monday, and then CPI. So what is happening is that the stock flies because there's a flight going on, but then it plummets because people realize, but we still have that CPI report coming up. Let's be cautious here. and the stock is sitting, it's sitting at the mid 40s. It's not sitting at 20. It's sitting at mid 40. So it rockets for the test flight, and it pushes up again, and then the Russell comes down, and then it goes down with the Russell. I still think we could see another spike, and that's because MACD is crossing, RSI is neutral, and the catalyst is Sunday. So 2 more days where people can buy. I think next week is going to be probably bullish. So I think Virgin Galactic in that sense is going to be the leader here. I expect it to pull back up to the 50s, honestly, tomorrow and after tomorrow. Most definitely. I mean, we have a test flight going on. Even if the markets would come down a little bit tomorrow and after tomorrow, I think that test flight is a big, big catalyst. So I expect it to go above that to around $50 short term. Let me check my PayPal. Oh, by the way, I have not pinned my PayPal. 57% of people are bearish on DD, so more people are bearish on DD right now. And probably a lot of people said bullish because I'm so bullish on DD. Yeah, there's a little bit of a bias, but I do think most people are bearish on DD, but yet their fundamentals are incredibly strong. Let me pin that right there. Let's see, England, Denmark. It's 20 minutes in. Nobody made a goal yet. Oh boy, I'm really excited about that match that's happening right now. Okay. This is your hourly reminder to look at NLST. Right, so NLST. Let me take a look at that. Net list. Oh boy. Oh, I was so wrong about this. Yeah, I mean, geez, this is crazy. Wow, it actually went parabolic. Damn. I was really wrong on this. I have to admit to this. Net list. I mean, how much higher can it go? It has a market cap of 1 billion now. How much revenue do they have? 47 million. This might be happening because Google could potentially acquire the company. I believe that was it. There was this lawsuit going on. Yeah, the 4-hour looks bearish and went down quite a bit here. 26%. Still, I'm gonna say it's gonna be bearish. I mean, it's been going so much higher, and historically speaking, it tends to drop after these pumps. I'm gonna bet on the bearish downturn, all the way to $3 ish. I don't know much about the fundamentals. I haven't looked into it yet. I forget every single time to do that, but I do think it's gonna come down. So far, right? So maybe the fundamentals say something completely differently, and that it should be, sitting at $10. But let's just say nothing. I'm gonna say nothing here. I have no idea what's happening. I'll have to look into this. It's going higher because of all the crazy lawsuits. I know so much that is the case. Should have had a look at that. All right. DD sitting at 12 again. All right, Tesla's still down. Overall market quite negative. Palantir starting to move up now. Cool. There's nothing fundamental about it. They're winning damn near every lawsuit, around 7 of them. Google's been appealing his court case for 10 years, and it's finally coming to fruition. NLST is going to make billions more. Ooh. Right. So that's what I was saying. The nitty and gritty is you'd have to make a deep analysis on that, because you have to look at the actual lawsuits. What is it? Why these lawsuits are happening, how much revenue, missed revenue, this could be potentially about. That would take a time. And I cover a lot of stocks, so if I would spend that much time in every single stock, that would really handicap me. So, but if that's the case, that sounds really bullish for Netlist. It could keep going if that's the case. It depends on the missed revenue that we're speaking about. Is it like 100 million a year, or like, the specifics are quite important for the stock price, right? Oh, my neck is killing me right now. We got about 35 minutes here. We got 35 minutes left until the market is actually going to be closing. Checking the match right now between Denmark and England. So far, nothing specifically happening right now. Still 0-0. I've been bugging you about it for over a week. Yeah, it's a big mistake I made. I should have probably just looked into this Netlist. But the thing is, I can't do that with every stock out there, because obviously I get messages like this very often, and not every one of them are going to be right? So I know that for a fact. But hey, if you really are incredibly bullish about a stock and you think a stock is going to rally significantly and I missed it, then just message me on Discord. You can message me on Instagram as well, and on Twitter, and I'll take a look at that. So, yeah, it's easy as that. You can also message me in the live chat, but at some point I can't see it anymore, and it just kind of, eventually it's like a jungle of comments, right? You can send me a private message on Discord or on Instagram. If you have a stock that you really think is going to go up a lot and I should cover more, then make sure you do that. Gara, check Coinbase. Yeah, Coinbase has been going down slightly, and it's got, what am I saying? It's not going down, it's going up to the moon. 6%. Yeah, we said it was going to go down, that was right, and then it kept on going down. Yeah, it looks quite bullish to me. Yep. I expect Coinbase to get back to, let's see. Let me copy this. Hopefully this is possible. Maybe the 270s, 280s? I would say it's going to take a longer time than that, but... Yeah, 270s, right? So around 270, 275, 278, 280. I'm a little bit bullish right now because I do think cryptos are going to move. They're going to be moving higher, and as cryptos are moving higher, we could see Coinbase actually move higher too. So, no, I think there's a good reason it's going up 6% today. Peru says, let's talk about Didi. I'm still holding Didi. I'm in the same boat. I'm in that's the same exact boat. Or rather, I would say shipwreck. Yeah, Didi, man. That's it's very looking really bad still. The MACD crossed and the stock is just going lower. So yeah, so far so good. Not seeing a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of history here to be going off of in the first place. But this is a support. Alright, so support level right here. It's around 11.58. We have a gap right there which hasn't been filled. It's still dropping at the moment. It's not oversold on the 30 minutes. And I think on the 15... looks like it might actually correct downwards. I think we're going to see another move downwards, actually. short term to 11.6. Maybe we'll get like a double or triple bottom. I think rather a double bottom here. So that would be something like this. This is what I'm thinking currently. Get back to 12.5 probably by tomorrow. It's going to stay within this range though. I'll be very surprised if it actually go lower than what we currently have. This is a strong support now. And it should act accordingly. This is short term. I think next week we'll see the gap being filled partially. Unless we get more negative news, right? Hold up. We got a $5 donation from Paige. Thank you, Paige. Thoughts on EXR as long-term investment? As long-term investments, you would have to look at the fundamentals, right? So I think I could take a short look at the fundamentals of this company. And I'll take a look at the technicals for sure. One moment. I'm seeing some messages here. Oh boy, Denmark. Denmark just scored. Hold up. Denmark just scored against England. Oh boy. Oof. That's a big one. That's Hold up. My gosh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We'll see. Big oof. I was sort of hoping that England was going to win here. But you know, they could still make they could still make it. I mean, there's a lot of time left. There's still about 60 minutes left, so 60 minutes, easy. Big tech is doing well so far still. One channel for stocks and football. Yeah, I'm just covering it on the sidelines, right? Just casually, right? Sorry, yeah, I had to answer some questions. Quite important. Being interrupted a little bit right now. Gara, is Ethereum a good short here? No, I do not think it's a good short. No, 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 no. Sorry, that's it's not financial advice, but I don't think Ethereum is a good short. Hold up, one sec. Give me 1 minute. This is really, really important. I have to answer some questions here. I'll be back in a second. Okay. 1 moment. Be back in a minute. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see. Oh. Darn it. Nothing really changed so far, honestly. It's just been very, very bearish. That's kind of funny, like, the popular high multiple stocks down tons, yet the indices are sort of green, right? And the 10-year is going down, which is just confusing. Oh, England, Denmark. Let's go. They're bringing it back home. Wow. Damn. It's 1-1 right now. That's just amazing. Let's see. Could you see CCIV hitting $40? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I could see that happen. But that's going to happen at the latter stage of this rally, so like right before the merger, but I do see that happening at some point. One sec. Yeah, coin is really taking off. Still taking off. 7.28%. I mean, it's pretty darn low. Stock price still really low, sitting at 250. I think it's going to get back to the 270s very soon. We're talking like probably just in the coming days. So yeah, Coinbase to the moon. Yeah, Coinbase to the moon indeed. To the moon. Let's see. Yeah, I'm getting messaged by the person that is gonna go. You know, I'm gonna go with a couple friends of mine to France this weekend. I'm being messaged right now. It's pretty darn important, so I'm gonna have to just reply every now and then. We have about 14 minutes left right now, before the market closes. So there's still a lot going on. But we're getting at the latter part of the day. I mean, the past couple of days, it's just been pretty much last hour of the day, especially the last 10, 20 minutes, flat. Nothing exciting happening. Although with Coinbase, I mean, look at that. Looking pretty nice so far. Yeah, I really hope that England's going to win that match. How long is the drive to France? We're going to go by train, by the way. Yeah, we're going to go by train. It's going to be great. It's going to take about 3 hours with train to Paris. What do you know about poison pills and the outcome they have on the affected stocks? Hold up. Poison pills. I've not looked into that, actually. I haven't seen what that is all about. We'll have to do that probably after the stream. Also, I'm going to turn on the member-only mode. I think this is the perfect time to let the members ask some questions. So if you've got a question, just ask me right now, because I'll just answer it. I'll answer it right away. Do you speak français? No, I don't speak French. Sorry, I learned it for a year. You know, I can say things like "Je suis une baguette" or something. It's just I can't speak French. I really can't speak French. Are you gonna live stream in France? Yes, I think I will. Yeah, I will be live streaming in France. Probably just touring around in Paris. French, darn it. Yeah. LV Paggio says, Nano Dimension. Do you like Beyond at this price? How low charge point can go before the CPI report? All right, let's cover these. I think we'll do that. Ooh. Yeah, it's going lower than I expected. I have to admit to that. Didn't expect it to go this low. It went below support, hitting this support right here. Yet I don't think it will go. I still don't think it's going to go much lower than this. So I'm literally just going to move this. I still think it's going to go to $10. So I'm not going to change too much about this. Going lower than I expected, but some sideways movement here could be expected. This is a strong support, right? So it breached this support, now sitting at an even stronger support now, which I don't think is going to break unless the whole market just collapses or something. I mean, right now we've got the Russell going down, but still. Do you like BYND at this price? Right, so that was another one of these questions. Beyond Meat. Huh, looks kind of similar to the movement that we saw in Nano Dimension. Interesting. Yeah, I like it. I think it should bounce. Technicals are looking good. I don't see why it shouldn't bounce at this point. I mean, beyond it's been pretty much the same price for a long time. And look at their annual revenue. It's just going up and up and up and up. Although they're also burning money, so. And earnings is coming up soon. I think it might actually go a little bit lower. Just a little bit lower, right? That 135 could still be hit. But I do expect a big rally upwards after that. So that's probably going to be like next week or at the end of this week, you know, Friday. Just a little lower. All the way back to the 150s. For Beyond Meat. How low can ChargePoint go before the CPI report? What do you think for Nano Dimension tomorrow and after? I think pretty much sitting around at $7. Just consolidate there. Do we have any more scheduled catalysts this week? I mean, there's like plenty of catalysts. It's just we're not really aware of those all the time. The big one is the CPI. Today was the FOMC minutes. But yeah, CPI is the biggest catalyst at this point. Amsterdam isn't so occupied with football at the moment. Yeah, of course. I mean, like we're not playing. We're not playing in the Euro Cup, so we already lost, unfortunately. Come on, Didi. Oh gosh, Didi's just moving so incredibly slow. It's like you can notice that people are just staying away from it just in case. Just in case. Darn it. Sad life. What about the FOMC? That was today, right? So the FOMC minutes was today. What's happening with the SNDO? Oh yeah, there we go. So we said it was going to bottom out close to the trend line. It hit the trend line. It exactly hit the trend line. Look at that. And then bounced back. And it's bouncing right now. How much is it up? 7.5%. It could go back to $1. Yeah, C3 is consolidating at the strong support at 58, 57. I bought more. I'm going to keep buying more. It's getting oversold, so yeah. Looks pretty good. Palantir, 22.9. I am bullish. I am very bullish in Palantir. I don't think it's going to leave this 22. Just bought the dip there. Tomorrow and after tomorrow, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of upside as well, by the way. It's probably going to be some more either downside or just sideways. I think mostly sideways movement. It's not going to be that exciting. Let's see what's happening with Virgin Galactic. 45. So it was sitting at 43 for a moment. It came back up to 45. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything stopping it to just going to the 48 and the 50. So still bullish on Virgin Galactic. Looks like the Nasdaq is already pulling back up quite nicely. We got about 4 minutes left, by the way. 4 minutes left until the market is going to close. And I'm going to allow everybody now to just talk. I think that would be nice. Oh, checking charge point, by the way. Yeah. Ouch. 20% to the downside. Yeah. So kind of that does look painful. Oof. Yeah, they don't have any revenue though, do they? Doesn't say that they do. Look at that triple bottom. It's beautiful. Yeah, I expected to consolidate around here, to be honest. Like, maybe it goes down to the 27, but I don't think it's going to necessarily move a lot more to the downside. Expect it to be going back up to about $30 soon. Just consolidate around 28, 27 for the time being. This is a good support zone. Let's use the fib. Yeah, this is a good support zone, so... unless the markets really come down here, I don't think it's going to go down much further. Do you have any penny stocks that interest you? No. I don't really like penny stocks. Just simple... For penny stocks, you have to do a lot of analysis. You have to do a lot of research. And I'm just trying to swing trade right now, honestly, because of the current market conditions. But I think I'll be more and more interested in penny stocks down the road. Probably after this market cycle, this bullish market cycle. But right now, I'm not so interested in penny stocks. Well, one reason is that they're really expensive right now. Just stocks in general, right? So when we're in a downturn, when we're in the bearish market for like a year or two, probably a year, that's when I would probably look at the penny stocks. I don't like it right now. When will Airbnb bounce back? Next week. I think next week. Yeah, there we go. Big mistake. I drew that a couple days ago. Pardon me. So I would say Airbnb. We're waiting for that. We're waiting for that CPI, right? So. Yeah, pretty much. We're waiting for CPI. Broke trend. So we'll see some consolidation soon. Yeah, I would say it could still drop to the 142. That's still possible. I don't see it dropping much further though. So 142 maybe consolidate and then also gradually head back up to the 150s initially. Oh yeah, the market has been closed, by the way. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was messaged by my good friend of mine. It was about something really important, so that really distracted me for a moment. But yeah, the market is now officially closed. That was it for today. We had 2 live streams today. I think tomorrow and after tomorrow will be rather boring in some sense, and a little bit bearish. So we'll see some sideways movement, and we'll also see some bearish movement, right? So don't expect any upside on the high multiple stocks, so to speak. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Yeah, big tech will just probably just stay at these high levels. High multiple stocks is going to be bloody still until next week. Next week will be the game changer. when that CPI report rolls out and gives us the sign that it's actually inflicting down, that would be the trigger for more upside for high growth stocks and risky stocks. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna head out now. We've been live for about 2 hours, and I think this is good. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Hit the like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. We're live every single day before the market opens up, before the market closes. You know the gist. Feeling a little tired because of yesterday. Because yesterday I didn't sleep well, so I still feel that right now. I'm gonna get a proper night of sleep, and I think tomorrow is gonna be perfectly fine. Like I've said before, Friday there's gonna be no stream because I'm gonna be in France. I'm gonna be going on my first holiday in 5 years. First trip outside of the Netherlands, where I'm going on my own, and it'll be exciting. I'll be doing a live stream there, so make sure you are subscribed. And yeah, cheers everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the donations. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll be streaming extra long because of the fact that, of course, I'll be in France on Friday, so I can't be streaming on Friday. But we'll be streaming in the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be streaming in Paris, and it's going to be fun. All right, cheers. Hit the like, subscribe, follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter. I think we have a TikTok too, and make sure you join the Discord too. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out. I hope you can hear me. My gosh. There we go. If you're still watching, let me know in the live chat. Let me know if you're still watching. We'll have a little bit of a one-to-one. I don't know if anybody's still watching. We got 74 people here in the live chat. Let me check. Let's see if I can bring the live chat here on the screen. Let's see. All right, we got that going. Fantastic. Oh, that's so interesting. We still have about 70 people watching. And I think some people are starting to reply now. Oh, nice. Devon Hartbolt, Thomas Otto. Yeah, I just decided to sneakily come back right at the end of it. I just wanted to say, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching my content, just the live streams and videos. Appreciate you guys. I'll do this every now and then, just to show some appreciation. You know, if you're still watching the live stream right after it ended, right? You either did that by accident or by just actually wanting to watch the live stream, regardless of it ending, which is quite a beautiful thing. So just wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate you. And yeah, without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So thank you for your support. Also, like I said, Friday I will not be live. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be the weekend for me. Going to be spending some time in France. Probably already said that before, but yeah, I'll just say it again. You know, Friday I won't be live. I will probably have a live stream in the weekend somewhere, Saturday or Sunday, where I'll be just live streaming in Paris, showing you guys around in Paris. It's going to be fun. And the end of July, so the last week of July, I will be in Germany, so that's going to be fun too. So make sure you tune in at that time. But yeah, I'll be really going now. I'll be really going now. So have a good one, everybody. Good luck with trading, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow when I'm going to be live again. So cheers, everybody. This was Lucid Trading. I'll be going for real now. Peace out.